Good afternoon, this is Paul from Job Innovations. I'm finally able to get back on my 3D printing building project and post some videos. Just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of what I do on the electrical side. Just a disclaimer, I am not an electrician. Where we live out is out in the country, so we don't have the codes and stuff that we have to be concerned with, but I have wired houses in some of our buildings and stuff on the place. And so I have a little bit of experience with electrical, but use your own judgment. Check with your local codes, check with your, if you have no electrician or somebody that's done a lot of electrical work, check with them before you mess with electricity. It can be very dangerous. Again, I'm going to show you what I do. It doesn't work for everybody. I'm a little bit more cautious. Some people will run a lot lighter gauge wire, or they will use lighter breakers or heavier breakers, just depends. But what I'm going to be using on mine is these 20 amp breakers. I know some people use 15s to run their 3D printing machines, but I just wanted to use 20s. That's what I'm used to using in the house most of the time. So basically on my breaker box, I got 100 amp feed coming in from the pole. And when it runs up here, these guys right here, they just got a little bar on here, and you just toggle them in, line them up. If I can see what I'm doing, there we go. Line them up, and then they just sit in there, and then you'll run your hot wire and then your ground over here. I'm going to show you kind of what I've used. I use 12-2 with the ground, nothing fancy, pretty standard among the industry. So let me see y'all. So basically, you know, it has two 12 gauge wires, a black wire, which is your hot wire, and then a white 12 gauge common or neutral, and then of course your ground. So that's what I'll be running up, and I'm gonna come basically up and over, and like I said, I'll run through the rafters. I already drilled my holes coming down, but I'm gonna run all the way down, and I'm gonna run a what they call a home run all the way from one outlet all the way back to the box. I know that, and this is only gonna hold 4 receptacles. So this will have 2 duplexes in it basically, so which means I'm only going to have 4 machines on this leg. I know that some people have said that you can run 6 or 8, but I want to have plenty, and I don't want plenty of electricity going to the machines. And if they're all fired up at one time, I don't want a chance of it tripping breakers or anything like that. So I'll have a leg coming down for that one there, right there, there. So all the way around the room, every place there's a box will have its own leg. And again, like I said, what I do may not work for you, but I'm thinking it's going to work pretty good for me. We'll see. Again, I appreciate y'all's time, and I'll keep trying to post some videos as I can. Again, I don't really edit my videos. What you see is what you get. I'm still new to all this YouTube stuff, and so I'm just kind of giving you the progress as I go a little bit at a time on this building. If you have advice or you have suggestions or you're doing a 3D printing building, by all means leave a comment for me, because I'll definitely take suggestions and may use some of that advice whenever as I go along on this project and everything as I'm building this thing. Again, I appreciate everybody that's watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye. All right, after giving this some more thought, I'm going to add to my video, and I'll splice in if I can figure out how to do that. Originally, I was going to bring in the wire, and then I was going to make a short jumper from one hot side to the other side of my plugs. After giving it some more thought, I was thinking, well, if I have a plug that goes out and it's linked together, then I'm going to lose power to both instead of just one. So what I'm going to do is create what's called a pigtail, which it's where the hot comes in, and then you cut 2 short pieces of wire, and I'll show you in this other outlet, and use those to split off the hot to feed each one of these outlets. That way, if this outlet goes out, I could still have power to this one unless the main line goes out. If the main line goes out, or if the breaker drops, and trips or whatever, then of course I won't have power to either one of them. But this could be a good solution, and it's probably the smart way to do it, just in case I get an outlet that goes out so it doesn't kill both of my machines that are running at the same time. Now, just again, I'm not an electrician, but this is pretty common sense. Hot wires always go on your brass looking side, and then your neutral, your white wire, will go over on the silver side, and then of course the green is the ground. That's pretty simple. If I was just jumping them over, then all I'd have to do is match one side of one plug over to the other. Same thing with the hots, just match them. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to show you on this other one that I have. I don't have outlets hooked up to it. Maybe it'll be a little bit more clear what I did here. So basically, what I did, if I can get the camera just right, is where the line comes in. Here's the hot. I made a pigtail for 2 hots to feed each one of these outlets. Same thing with the neutral, and same thing with the ground. I just did it so we wouldn't spend so much time, making a video, so you can just kind of see the end result. But hopefully that will help y'all. Again, that's called a pigtail. Most electricians know all about that stuff. But like I said, I think in this situation, it's better for me to do that than just jump across just in case I lose power to one outlet. All right, thank y'all for tuning in.